Okay. Uh, Yesterday, what we had seen is we had seen how to convert your assembly language instruction into machine code. Machine code is nothing but a binary, right? So, how to convert your instruction into binary, that we have seen yesterday. We have seen specific template for move instruction. Same way, they have created template for each and every instruction, and based on that template, you can create your instruction, right, in binary form. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
There are different form of, like, number of byte of your instruction depends on the type of instruction that you are using. In move instruction itself, a move instruction can be of 2 byte, 3 byte, or 4 byte depending on which addressing mode you are using, right? And I have given you 3 examples to solve, and I hope all of you have solved it. Have you tried it?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Hello. Have you tried that 3 things? Okay. Let me ask. Akshay, can you tell me what D bit indicates? Hello, Akshay. Okay. He might not be there. Saumil,
Yes,
what D bit indicates? D bit in template, what D bit indicates?
binary did. नहीं
Huh?
नहीं नहीं नहीं
Okay. Harshil, can you tell me what D bit indicates? Hello, Harshil. They have just joined. हाँ बोलो. What D bit indicates? Sawmill, no idea. Okay, just
नहीं
for the reminder purpose, let me tell you, let me share my screen and inform you one more time. Normally, first 6 bit of your first byte is opcode, right? We don't need to mug it up. You just need to remember that this will be the opcode. Next is after opcode, you are having D bit. It will show the direction of register. So you are taking data from register or you are putting data to register. For that, it is D bit, right? Then it will be a W bit. So you are doing 8-bit operation or 16-bit operation. To tell your assembler about that, it is a W bit. After that, you are having 8 more bits, second byte, in which middle 3 bits are for what purpose? Register purpose. And left and right side are for RM and mode. So that will show your, what you can say, addressing mode. So this is the template of your instruction. Now based on the displacement that you are using, you can write down the value after that 2 bytes. So if your displacement is of 8 bit, you need to use third byte. If it is a 16 bit, you need to use 16 bit or 2 byte. Yeah. Let me share my screen so you will get it more proper. Once you are able to see the screen, let me know. So now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go and show you the template one more time. So here is the template. Here is the textbook that I am referring from the Google book itself. As you can see, first 6 bit is for opcode, then it is a D bit, 0 for from, 1 for 2. So if my instruction is move AX comma BX, and if I am considering BX as my base register, like main register, then data is transferred from BX to AX. So from BX, that means D will be 0. Yes. And in REG, I need to write down the code of BX. Fine. And as you can see, REG is of 3 bit. W, as it is AX BX, it is a 16 bit operation, so my W will be 1. If it is 8 bit, it will be 0. Here is the code of all your registers. You always need to use this code, and here is your addressing modes that you can use based on the instruction under consideration. Fine. Hello. Hello.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
જ્યાં સુધી પ્રેક્ટિસ નહીં કરશો ત્યાં સુધી it will not get clear. You need to do practice. Yes. Hello. So better go through the video one more time. solve all that 3 examples that I have given to you, then only it will help you. Yeah? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now
Yes.
today, yeah, as yesterday's lecture was little bit lengthier, so today I'm not gonna cover much stuff. It would be a small lecture, okay, and then you are supposed to do your work. The programs that you are supposed to run is already given. If you have already completed, enjoy the time. If you have not completed, finish it, all the programs in after like after this session. Fine, because we are not going to join again. Now today's topic is assembler directives. Now, as we have discussed before also, there are some assembler directives available. What are the work of that? They are predefined. So that will tell your assembler that what task your assembler is supposed to perform. I have already sent this video to you, huh? So you can watch it in your group if it is available to you. I have already shared in the group. So assembler directives are the directives which gives the direction to your assembler to perform particular task. It is like keywords of your C language. Like if you write down integer, it will tell your compiler that occupy 2 bytes. If you write down if, it will tell that it is a conditional statement. Same way in assembler, there are some directives available which tells your assembler to perform particular task. Now, one more thing is assemblers are not converted into machine code, assembler directives. They are automatically like recognized as the keywords. Fine. So this thing you need to keep in mind. So these are the different assembler directives available. Out of these, we have already used 2 to 3. One is DB. DB is used to occupy data byte. DW is used to write data word. So it will occupy 16 bit. Okay. Wait a minute, huh? Only a minute. Give me a minute. Okay. So come back here. Are you able to see this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So all these are एक minute. Sorry for the inconvenience, but some things are going on. Let's start. So as you can see here, data byte is used to like what you can see. It used to allocate 8 bit, so it is used as DB. Now all the hex number are of 2 bits, 2 digits, because 2 digit is equal to 8 bit, 1 hex digit is equal to 4 binary bit. I think now this thing is quite clear after second quiz. If it is not clear yet, you need to go through your basics, otherwise your full subject will be like what's going on every time. You can feel that कहीं ज खबर पड़ती नहीं because your basics are not clear. Next is DW. As I said, we can define some variables of 16 bit using DW. So it is a data word. If it is DD, you can declare D word. So data word. So it will be a 32 bit data that you can store in some array. If you want to store 32 bit data, then also that is possible using DD. Same way, if you go forward, there are other two directives, DQ and DT. DQ is used to reserve 4 words. So 16-bit data, but 4 16-bit data you can store. If you define DQ, and it will store in memory. So 16 4s are 64 different bytes will occupied, and you can store your data there. And in DT, you can store occupy 10 bytes. Here, how many bytes will be occupied in DQ? Can someone tell me? In DQ, how many bytes will get occupied? Hello? Am I audible?
64.
એ તો ખોટું કીધેલું હતું એટલે તો પાછું પૂછ્યું. વાંચો નહીં વિડીયો તો જોઈ કે નહીં? જો શું લખેલું છે, કાં હતા આપણે? સોરી, એક જ મિનિટ. Yeah, we were here. As I said, it is used to occupy 4 words. 4 word means how many bytes? 1 word is equal to 2 byte. Yes? 1 word is equal to 16 bit. 16 bit is equal to 2 byte. So 4 word is equal to how many bytes?
8 bytes.
128.
Oh, common sense. Yeah. So DQ is occupying 8 bytes, right? And DT will occupy 10 bytes. Clear? So to declare your variable and how many bits you want to occupy, according to that you can utilize these directives. Other than this, you are having one more directive called assume. I think I have discussed when we have started our programs. Okay, that instead of using move ax comma ds, move @data move ds comma ax, you can use this also, assume. So what assume will do? Assume will tell your assembler that my name, logical name code is actually a code segment. So to tell your assembler that what your code segment actual name is, this is how it will use. એટલે તમે જે બે ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન લખો છો ને, move ax @data move ds ax, instead of that you can use this assembler directive also, and this will tell your assembler that data is actually used for data segment. Get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I am not telling you some big science or rocket science, so I think it is quite like easy and understandable, right? So you can tell me. Now next is EQU. EQU is like variable. You can declare some variable and you can assign some value to that variable. So factor EQ 03h. So now in your program, wherever factor word will come, you can replace it with 03. This is what your EQU will do. So what is the advantage of this kind of assembler directive? The advantage is, if you suppose you are using 03 at 5 places and you want to change it now 03 to 05. So in that case, you need to change it all at all 5 places. So if you don't want to do that, you can simply assign some variable, so that once you change the value of variable, everywhere, wherever that variable is used, it will get changed. So that's how EQU is useful. Yeah? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next is AND directives. Okay, and we have already used in our program. If you see your program again carefully, you are using AND at the end of your program. You are using AND S to allocate that it is a segment and there is one more AND P. This will tell your assembler that the procedure is get ended. So in future we are going to see some procedure also. Functions also you can make in this assembly language, that is called procedure here. So if you want to end that procedure, you can use AND P. So these are the AND directives that you can utilize. Other than that, as you can see, PROC. So if you want to declare some procedure, so if you want to create some function in our C language, then in that case you can create like this. Smart is the name of my function, PROC is the keyword. So in assembly language we are call it procedure. So smart is the name of my procedure, PROC is the keyword, and you can have different form of procedure. It can be a far procedure, it can be a near procedure, it can be a short procedure. What are all that we'll study in future, but this is how you can declare it. So this is also one of the assembler directives. So once your assembler get to know that PROC is written, it is knowing that this is a procedure name, smart. So this is the quiz that we don't want to give because we are not in any mood. Okay, now as we have already discussed in our previous session, that it is not always that your program is depending on your instruction that you have written in the program only. It may be possible that some of the code which is written is outside your code, like you are accessing some code which is not available in your instructions, right? Like header files you are including from C program is actually outside code that you are including in your program. So same way you can do the same stuff here also. You can utilize group and include assembler directives to do that. Okay, same way, there is a keyword called extern and public. Extern is used to tell the assembler that the name or label following the directives are in some other assembly module. So you have mentioned some module, but that is not available in your code. So your assembler will get confused. What is this word? But by using extern keyword, you can tell your assembler that this particular function is available in another code. So if you want to tell something like that, you can use extern. Same way, suppose there are two programs running in your machine, and if you want to share some variable to both that program, you can make that particular thing public. So same way, names and labels that we are going to use, so no need to worry. So that's it. This is the end of your all the assembler directives. So this is the final all the list of directives available in 8086. Again, just for the revision purpose, all these are called assembler directives. This is same like your keywords in C language. What it do is your assembler already know that if this word is there in your program, I need to do this kind of task. So these assembler directives are not converted into machine language, and each directive has its own purpose. So based on the purpose of the directives, you can utilize in your code. Okay, so I think that is quite clear. Yeah, done. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is what about, like, this is all about assembler directives. I'm still sharing my screen. So as you can see here, we are currently on, okay, which page? Chapter number, wait a minute. Okay, here it is. So on chapter number 3, I think, page number 19, you can get all that assembler directive, 19, 20 onwards, segment and write program for use with an assembler, right? So in that, you are having all the assemblers directives available, segment directive and directives, and what are the work of that each directives, EQ directives explained, right? Same way, all the types of data is also explained. So third chapter, page number 19 and page number 20, 21, you can find out all their directives. Now, this is one most short theory which normally comes in your exam because it is there in your syllabus. Okay, on page number 24 also you are having assume directive. So better go through page number 19 to till the end directives, right? Okay, now assembly language program development tool. This is a short theory which normally comes in your exam for 1 or 2 marks every year. So better to understand that this is nothing but if you want to develop a simple assembly language program, which are the things that you are required. One is editor. So in our case, we are using EMU 8086, the screen. Now it is not compulsory that you need to use screen. If you use Notepad also, you can type your program. So for our case, Notepad is our editor, where you can type your program. That is your editor. Assembler. Assembler is actually converting your assembly language into object language, not actually binary, object. So that is the work of assembler. In our case, we are using 8086 assembler in EMU itself. EMU provides us everything. It will provide us editor also, it provides us assembler also. Now, next is linker. As we have already discussed, there are things available in your code which is already predefined, or you are using that thing in your code also. So suppose you take the example of C language, then linker can be linking 2 or 3 files of C program. Same way in assembly language, if you are having 2 to 3 modules available and you are using that both modules in a single program, you need this linker to link your programs. Fine. Once you are ready with your binary code generated, you need to put it in a RAM to run it, because at initial days you are not having full RAM available or full OS available to run your code. So at that time, locator was needed to locate your program, but nowadays it is not needed, but still you need to understand what locator do. Locator is a program to assign the specific addresses of where the segment of object code are to be located into memory. Memory ma kya mukwana ena માટે locator use થાય. And last is debugger. In currently what we are doing, we are clicking on emulate. So emulate is not doing anything, but it is doing debugger. I think if you are using C, have you used Turbo Compiler? Hello. Have you used TC? Turbo Compiler, blue screen. Hello. Have you used Turbo Compiler?
Yes,
In
sir.
Turbo Compiler, you are having an option called breakpoint. Have you used it? Hello.
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is an option called breakpoint. So what happens if you want to check your program that it is correct? Suppose you have written a code of 1,000 line, and suppose you compile the program, it will give you error, right? Particular line. But if something is wrong, like if you know that out of 1,000 line, my first 500 lines are completely correct, I know that. So I want to check that after 500 line, which line gives me an error. Then one by one line at a time, I want to check. Then what I can do is I can put a breakpoint after 500 numbers line, and I can check one by one, so I can get to know that which line actually not perform as per expectation. So this is called breakpoint that you can do in C Turbo Compiler, right? I currently don't remember the command, but it is available. Fine. Same way, if you want to do one by one line execution that we are doing in our EMU 8086, it is called debugger. For our case, our EMU 8086 is providing us all this facility, but you should know the name of each and everything, because at initial days, all these things were used separately: editors, assembler, locator, linker, and debugger. Fine. And here is the flow of your program. Just remember this flow, because this will also come in your exam. So this is just for basic understanding purpose. Once you write down some you get some problem, you need to think about it, you need to create the algorithm for it. Once your algorithm is ready, you need to write down some program into your assembly language editor, and then you need to save that program as .asm. So currently we save all our programs as .asm file by default. Once your .asm file will get ready, you click on emulate. So it will assemble your program, and it will create .obj file and .list file. Okay. If your program is not having any error, you can go further. If it is having error, go back, correct it, create obj file again. So object file or list file will get generated again. Once this will get done, you are using linker if some more code is available, and that linker will generate .exe file or .map file based on the below platform. As I said, once linking get done, you are having your executable file available. Where you want to run that file in your RAM, you need to find out using locator. That's why locate is used, and it will generate bin file, binary file. So it will put it in the RAM. If external system is assigned, suppose you are using some hardware also with 8086, in that case you need to emulate, load program, run. If it is not available, still you need to debug it, load program, run. If error, correct it. If it is not having any error, program will get stopped and you will get output. So this is how your basic assembly language program gets executed, and these are the different files which are generated in the background. But we don't actually know about all these files, because once ASM file gets generated, we simply run it and we'll get the output. Fine. So this is what you need to understand. So that's it. સમજ પડી શું ભણાયું? Hello. Let's start with Poojan. Poojan, what we have covered today? He is not there. Okay. What about Akshay? He is there, or he is just giving attendance? Not there. Okay. How many of you are there? Can you unmute your mic for 2 seconds? Abhishek is there. Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we have covered yesterday and today. Yesterday we have covered how your assembly language instruction can get converted into binary code. Fine. Today we have covered two topics. First one is assembler directives, and second one is there are different tools used to run your assembly language program. So which are the tools? and after each tool which kind of file you will get in the background. Again, for the revision purpose, there are different assembler directives. Assembler directives tells your assembler to do particular task. Machine code will not get generated. DB, DW, DD, assume, segment, ends, all are the example of your assembler directives. All are having predefined work. Other than that, for program execution purpose, you are having different tools like editor, debugger, locator, linker, then assembler, right? At initial days, you are having all these things, even emulator, which emulate your 8086. So currently we are using emulator EMU 8086, and which is having all these things in a single software. So at initial days, we were having different stuff. Nowadays, we are having a single stuff, but you should know what happens in the background. So once you write down your program in any editor, .asm file will get generated. Once you assemble that code, .bin file or .map file will get generated, right? Once you link it, then what happens? Then some another kind of, okay, once you link it, .exe file will get generated. Once finally you find out the location in RAM that where you want to execute it, bin file will get generated and you can run that particular code. So this is how your full assembly language program works. Done? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
this is it for today's session. Okay. Now, just for the reminding purpose, let us. Okay. What work I have given to you? 3 instructions you need to convert into machine language. That I have given to you yesterday. How many programs we have already completed? Can you tell me? Can someone tell me? How many programs we have completed? Hello. Can someone tell me how many programs we have completed till date? Hello. One is block transfer, 8-bit, 16-bit. Fine. One array to another array. Second program we have done for copy data from one array to same array only, right? એવું છે કઈ? Hello.
Yes.
શું યસ? બીજો પ્રોગ્રામ કયો કરેલો? કોઈને યાદ છે?
BCD addition.
One is BCD addition, yes, for 16-bit, right?
Square of number
Square of number and cube of
and cube of number.
number. In cube of number we are using 8-bit. For square we are using 16-bit. Fine. Hello. Then we have done one program for addressing mode. We have used different instructions in same program. Fine. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so just wait a minute. We'll give you that all programs again, just for your reference. So I want all of you to complete that programs. એમ તો લોકોએ 5 પ્રોગ્રામ કહીને મને વિડીયો મોકલેલા છે. I have not checked it yet though, but still. Okay, one is addressing modes. Those who are not clear, write it down. જ્યારે પણ કોલેજ ચાલુ થશે કે જ્યારે પણ એક્ઝામ થશે, I need these programs with you. One, different addressing mode. Second, block transfer, right? Array 1 to array 2. Right? Third, block transfer with overlap. Yeah? So એક જ એરેમાં પાછું બદલાઈને આગળ ડેટા જવા જોઈએ. Now both this, sorry, block exchange. Have you done block exchange? Hello.
સર તમે WhatsApp પર મોકલેલો તે ને?
હા, WhatsApp પર મોકલ્યો તે પ્રોગ્રામ શું કરતો તે કોઈ મને કીધું નથી હજુ. મૂવ એસબી ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન હતી. હેલો. હેલો.
3-bit
sir.
USB વાળું સર ને?
Okay, that we'll do tomorrow again, just for the sake of understanding. Fine. Currently, how many programs we have completed here? One is addressing mode, one is block transfer from array 1 to array 2. This is second program. Third program that we have done is addition of 16-bit numbers, BCD addition. Okay.
Yes.
Then we have done multiplication of 16-bit numbers, right? Because the answer will get stored in dx. We know that ax and dx. Then we have done what? Square of a 16-bit number and cube of a 8-bit number. These many programs we have already completed. So those who have not done these programs, do it. Fine. Hello.
Yes, sir.
And the block transfer program, we have done it for 8-bit as well as 16-bit. So that is actually 2 programs. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So
सर वो ओवरलैपिंग वाला क्या कह रहे थे?
वो मैं बाद में कल करवाऊंगा वापस, क्योंकि वो भी आपको समझ में नहीं, मतलब आधों को समझ में नहीं आया. सो लेट अस डिस्कस इट अगेन इन द क्लास, राइट? सो दैट विल डू, नो इश्यू. वो और एक्सचेंज वाला मैं करवाऊंगा वापस. बट इतने प्रोग्राम तो हमने यहाँ पे खुद रन करके देखे हैं, तो इतने प्रोग्राम तो हो चुके हैं प्रॉपरली. फाइन. तो उतने तो सबको आने चाहिए. उसके अलावा आई हैव गिवन यू सम असाइनमेंट आल्सो, राइट? यू आर सपोज टू राइट डाउन 8086 आर्किटेक्चर, 8086 पिन डायग्राम. और अगर आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है, आई हैव सेंड वन पीडीएफ फाइल व्हिच कंटेन लॉट्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. सो यू शुड एबल टू आंसर ऑल दैट क्वेश्चंस. दैट्स इट फॉर नाउ. दैट इज व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड. फाइन. Hello, I have given you one PDF which contains some questions, and I told you that you should know that answers. I don't want a written submission or something, but you should know that answers. Fine.
सर बीच में एक प्रोग्राम दिया था ना, इसमें मिस्टेक निकालनी थी.
क्या निकालनी थी?
मिस्टेक कहाँ है वो बताना था आपको, व्हाट्सएप मैसेज करना था.
हाँ हाँ, वही वही ओवरलैप वाला प्रोग्राम था.
हाँ वो भी नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में एक बार डिस्कस कर देना ना.
नहीं, वो ओवरलैप वाला नहीं था, वो एडिशन वाला ही था. बीसीडी एडिशन वाला
हाँ,
ही
और उसमें मिस्टेक
था
क्या?
ना.
हाँ
बीसीडी एडिशन પછી તમે કરા લો એક પ્રોગ્રામ.
हाँ, वो बीसीडी एडिशन वाला ही प्रोग्राम था, बट वी हैव डन दैट प्रोग्राम फॉर 8-bit, राइट? बीसीडी एडिशन.
અને એક WhatsApp પર પહેલા મોકલો જ્યારે આપણે
જે WhatsApp પર આગળ મોકલેલો ને, that is for overlapping. That will discuss in the classroom again. But the program which I like, Isha is talking about is the program in which I have, like I told you that there is one error, right? And you need to solve that error.
હા એ પણ બાકી છે. એ બંને
हाँ, वो प्रोग्राम एक्चुअली बीसीडी एडिशन ही था, बट इट इज फॉर 16-bit एडिशन. देयर आर 2 numbers of 16-bit and you need to add that बीसीडी एडिशन. और उस प्रोग्राम में कुछ एरर थी, राइट?
हाँ
हाँ, देयर इज वन स्मॉल एरर. वो एक्चुअली इतनी बड़ी एरर नहीं है, मालूम पड़ जाएगा, बट स्टिल दैट विल आल्सो डिस्कस. फाइन.
हाँ.
Okay, so this is it for today's session. Do practice and try to learn different instructions. Okay, अभी अगर घर पे बैठे हो तो one more homework. There are some instructions that you need to study. SUB, SBB and DAS. These are the 3 instructions that you need to know in advance. तो मैं कल कुछ करवाऊं उससे पहले ये 3 instruction आपको आनी चाहिए. SB, SUB, sub, SUB. Next instruction is DAS. And one more instruction is SBB. Done?
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes,
चलो.
sir.
Thanks. Okay. Bye. Siari. It's okay.